Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. So I have two friends with me, B2 times and Bree. Got the B's here, literally. So I'm gonna do a story time. My first story time. So it's gonna be of the time I had sex when my parents weren't home and someone decided to come home early. Keep watching. So this is the first time they're actually hearing this story, so it's gonna be you're gonna get like actual facial expressions and shit. Okay, so let's rewind all the way back to the year 2012, 2013, something like that. So I had this boyfriend, of course. His name was we met at, where did we meet? We were both baggers at a grocery store, so, you know, love at first sight. You know what I'm saying? Just kidding.
Bag that ass.
Right. So yeah, we've been dating for like a while, and I think it was like some day we were off school. We're both in high school. So it was like some day off, or it was like a Saturday. I don't even remember, but my parents were both gone. So I was like, hey, you should come over. And he's like, oh, are your parents home? I was like, no, they're not. So we was like, all right, bet. So he came over in the morning. It was like right after my mom had left. It was like 8 in the morning. And I think he told his parents he was going with his friend. You know, the whole teenage lie thing. He said he's going here. I said I'm going here, whatever. We're both not where we said we were. Shocker. So I go get him. I'm in my mom's minivan, whipping that hoe, whipping the minivan. So, and he lived around the corner, so it wasn't even like anything crazy. So,
rode his bike over there.
Right. He used to skateboard, so honestly, not that far. You could have done something, right? You know what I'm saying? Anyways, so, I'm whipping in the minivan. Just got my license at 17, so I'm feeling all bad and bourgeois. So I drive over there, and I was like, fuck, how am I gonna get you back into the neighborhood without the neighbors seeing you? Because obviously if the neighbors see you, they're gonna tell my parents, whatever. So I was like, all right, bet. So I was like, okay, you're gonna get in the car, and I was like, I'm gonna pull away from the neighborhood. You got to get in the back seat, because it was a minivan, so I laid the seats down. So I was like, you got to get in the back seat, lay down flat so no one can see you. I was like, don't get up until I tell you it's safe. So he's like, all right, bet. Yo, we used to be on some shit. Back the things you used to do when you're young to have sex, like, for what? He gets in the back, lays down flat, so I'm like, all right, bet. So then I start driving into the neighborhood, super small. My parents know all the fucking neighbors, of course. So I was like, God. So here I go. I'm driving. Finally pull in. Here's the part that took some, you know, thinking on my end. So I was like, all right. I was like, I got to pull the minivan in the garage so no one sees him get out of the car. You know what I'm saying? Because if they see him, I'm fucking dead.
Makes sense.
Right. So I got to like pull into the, so I'm pulling into the, what's that shit called? The garage. So I'm pulling into the garage, right? And it's a very small, tight garage. We have a lot of shit. Whose fucking garage isn't full of shit? Exactly. Everyone's is full of shit. So I gotta like squeeze in the garage, make sure as the garage is closing, it doesn't hit the back of the minivan. Mind you, I can't get out and see because it's gonna look hella suspicious. So I got one shot to do this right. So I'm like, fuck, I just really hope this goes right. So here I go, I'm pulling in, I'm inching. I hit a box. And I was like, fuck. But it was cool. I checked it afterwards. It was good. So I go in, I close the garage, I go to the back. So you know how there's that line, you can kick it and then the garage door will stop. So I go to the back, I hit the button, making sure, I was like this far away. This shit almost fucked up the minivan. Everything would have been ruined. No. But the show goes on. That's nothing to, exactly. That's not the end of the story. So we, the garage closes, it's good, you gotta wait till it closes, okay, so open the minivan door, coast is clear. So it's like fucking 8 or 9 in the morning, I forget what time it is, hella early. Teenagers are never up this early, that's how you knew who was on some sneak shit. Okay?
True.
So we go and we're going to my room, right? We go back there. House is to us. We got the music playing. We're just having the best time of our lives. We're fucking a lot everywhere. And you know, what else do? You know what I'm saying? Sneak your boyfriend over. You're not sitting there playing video games, that's for fucking sure. We're back there having sex. My room is right by where the garage is. So if someone comes home, I can hear the garage opening. So it's like dead ass, it's like 1 or 2 in the afternoon at this point. Like, we've been going for a minute. Stop, go,
Damn.
stop, fall asleep, wake up, eat. It's a movie, you know, it's exciting. It's exciting. Wow. So then, we're like laying there, we're on a break, drinking some water, whatever.
Hydrate.
Right. So, I'm like, and I think the music was real low. And then I heard something. I was like, do you hear that? He was like, what? I said, the fucking garage is opening. Oh, no. I was like, yo, who is coming home? Because usually my parents call me before they come home. So I'm like sitting there, I'm like, yo, how the fuck am I going to get you out of here? And he's like, I don't know. So I was like, okay, fuck. I was like, pick up all your clothes. I was like, get dressed really quick and then hide in the closet. Couldn't hide under my bed because my bed was on this weird ass platform type thing. Small ass closet too, and my dirty clothes are like piled up.
My God.
And then my fucking clothes are hanging, so he's like in the corner like this. And I was like, just be quiet, don't say anything. I was like, I'll come back here, I'll come get you. So, and I thought it was my dad. Ooh, yo, if it was my dad, shit would have been over, right? It was my mom. So, still a little scary, because holy shit, my mother. Anyway, so I'm like, damn, how am I gonna sneak this guy out the house without my mom seeing him? And her bedroom door is right by the garage. How's that gonna do that?
Window.
Dead. No. Window.
Close
No.
her door.
No, listen.
Close her door and then have him just...
No. My window, right? Because I was like, oh yeah, window. I've got bushes blocking my window. So
I would have been like, well,
It used to fall.
you're gonna be scratched up, but...
no.
You hit,
It's,
so-
listen, though. It's like, it's way, and then the neighbors would have seen him.
Oh.
Y'all not thinking.
Why you think the neighbors just constantly watching you?
They do.
Oh, okay.
They're hella close. Like, the
Alright.
whole neighborhood was hella close to each other. So they're like, wow. Everyone watches everybody's house, whatever.
Did you put him in your clothes? Pretend like he was gay.
My parents have seen it before.
Oh,
Yeah. So, this is what the fuck I did. So, I was like, alright. First, I had to figure out who the fuck came home. So, that was step number 1. I was like, hello. And Mom was like, hey, what are you doing? Why is the car in the garage? And I was like, oh, I just pulled it in because it was hot. So, you know, whatever. And she was like, oh, okay.
A whole lie.
So then, a whole ass lie. I was like, why didn't she just see through my lie?
Yeah, why didn't you back it back out and put it
How's it gonna get him out?
Yeah, let him out when you pull it in, and once he goes in, just put it back out.
No, that's not what happened.
We're like 7 years too late to think about this.
So, my mom comes and she comes around. She sits on the couch, the living room. So it's like my room's at the back of the hall. You walk forwards. To the right is the living room. She's sitting right there. You can see down the hallway. So I was like, fuck. So you can see down the hallway and then keep going. Her bedroom's right there. So I was like, shit. And I'm pretty sure my dad's not home. I didn't hear him say anything. So I was like, hopefully he's not home. So I was like, damn, what am I gonna do? How am I gonna get him out of here? So I'm like sitting there thinking, I'm like, oh yeah, talking to my mom, blah, blah, how's your day? What did you do? Yeah, yeah. She's like, oh. So I'm like, okay, I got it. I'm ready to move my boyfriend out and then so we can get out of there. So I'm like, all right, bet. I go to my room. I'm like, okay, this is what we're finna do. You ready? This is the reveal. So I was like, all right, I got my blanket. I forgot what kind. It was some fuzzy kind of soft blanket. And I was like, I'm gonna ask her. I was like whispering to him. I was like, I'm gonna ask her, how do I wash it? Because I was like, that way I have a reason to walk to the laundry room to get you out. So I was like, all right, bet. So I was like, stay behind the blanket.
Oh my god!
I was like, don't move, don't make any extra noise, right? So this is like, I don't know how she didn't catch me. So I'm walking out of my room. I've got this blanket stretched out. He's taller than me. He's like fucking 6 foot. So I'm like walking and I'm like, hey mom, this blanket, and I told him, I was like, make sure you stay behind me, and when I get to the living room, walk behind me and be quiet. I was like, don't make any noise. So I'm holding the blanket up. I was like, hey, how do I wash this?
Is her like back toward?
No, so she's sitting like this. This is the hallway.
Yeah.
So she can turn this way and see me.
Oh.
Okay,
nice.
so I'm like this, holding the blanket up, hoping to fucking God she doesn't see 4 feet and some white legs, because that would have been a dead ass giveaway. Like, what are you doing? Why is he here? Anyway, so I'm like holding the blanket up. I'm like, yeah, how do I wash this? And I'm like talking hella loud so he can walk to the, what is that? The laundry room. And she's like, oh, you just wash it like normal. You just put it in there. She's like, don't worry, just take it in there and I'll wash it. I was like, okay, cool. So I'm like, all right. And then I turn this way so she can't see him. And I'm like, fuck, I hope she doesn't see him. So I'm walking, and then I made it to the laundry room. But this is the issue now. So our garage door has bells on it, like literally jingle bells. So I was like, how am I gonna open this door for whatever reason to go out in the garage and get him in the car so she can't see. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I was like, I got him this far. So I was like, I need to get him in the car before I get in the car so she doesn't see anything, and then I need to go and.
Why didn't he just walk?
Because there's bells on the door.
But your car was already in the garage.
Yeah, but there's bells on the garage door to get into the garage. Mm-hmm. So if he would have opened it, the bells wouldn't make noise.
So regardless, the bells are going off.
The bells are going off.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no like, oh, just get in the car. No. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I'm like, I have him stand there, and I'm like, I forgot what the fuck I said to get into the garage, but I was like, I'm gonna take these bells off the door. They're so loud, and so I just took them off, and I was like, fuck. So I took the bells off, and then I was like, okay, go get in the minivan, lay down flat in the backseat. I was like, don't do anything, don't move. I was like, I should be the next person to get in the car. I was like, hopefully it's not my mom, so, just be quiet. I was like, if it is her, just be quiet, don't say anything, just shh. Okay, so I'm like, hey mom, can I go pick up since you're home and we can hang out? She's like, oh yeah, here, take the keys. And I was like, all right, bet. So, right, so at this point we're like, pretty much good to go. So I'm like, all right, cool, got the blanket, he's in there, threw the blanket over him in the minivan just to make sure no one could see. So I'm like getting in the car, waiting for the garage to open, he's laying down flat, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go get him, we're probably gonna go get some food and come back. She's like, all right, cool. So started the car up, right, he's in the back just like fucking shaking, and I'm like, don't say anything, don't get up yet, we're still in the neighborhood. I was like, if anybody sees you, we're fucking busted. So we're like pulling out, and I'm like shit. And then my dad comes. He pulls up, and I was like, well, we're fucked. So I'm like going. I'm like, all right, bye, Dad. Just speed back, and then like pull off. Okay, toodles. So we go, we leave. I go pick him up again. He's still in the trunk. I know, right? Didn't even get out. So we go do the lab, go to McDonald's, come back, bring him back home like nothing happened, and we got away with it.
Oh my god, I am stressed right now. Stressed over something that happened like hella years ago.
Right.
I know.
Oh my god.
Look at you.
It was so stressful.
How
did you ever tell your parents?
No, they still don't know. Hopefully
really?
they don't see this.
It really doesn't matter at
this
point.
It doesn't at this point.
We're gonna do ground you. Take your phone away.
I think I was grounded when we were doing this, because I had got suspended from school. Another story. Living life on the edge. Yeah, so I was like grounded, and he was the only person I was allowed to see. I couldn't even see my friends.
Damn.
So that is the story of how I snuck my boo into the cribbo. So make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Share this video. Thank you to my wonderful friends for showing up. I appreciate you guys. All right, we'll see you guys next time.